Hey, welcome to Talking Shift, the live stream with Craig Davis here. Little pause right there because I'm trying to get Instagram hooked up as well. And that's my first time doing this on Instagram. So why not? But today, what I want to talk about is something that was inspiring to me. I was on a 3-day webinar with the Sales Mastery webinar. Todd Duncan, Brian Covey, Denise Donahue were on it. And then today, Neil Dinger is on it. And Neil's talking about the importance of working smarter. Now, we've all heard this, right? Like we got to work smarter, not harder. So much of us get stuck in the grind. We're working too many hours and it can feel like we're spinning wheels. Like I get it. Grind. As the executive coach, I talk a lot about, grind versus grit, and like, let's put that in perspective real quick. Grind and grit. Grit is what gets us there. Grind is what we maybe do when we're there, but we got to pull back. We got to zoom out and we got to use grit as our strategy and grind as our action. Really easy example are power hours. Grit is what gets us to our power hours every single day. Like Denise says, the mortgage nerd, every single day you have a power hour. Grit gets you there. When you're in the power hour, grind, get it done. But then you got to come back out, right? We got to assess. We got to strategically think about, did that work? How are we going to debrief? How do we work with our team? Et cetera, et cetera. But this is where I want to get to, right? We have the grit. We got to figure out how to balance this out. And we want to work smarter, not harder. Well, this is what I want to emphasize. I think nowadays it's about working smarter, not harder. It's about working harder to work smarter. So let me say that again, because I kind of fumbled that for a second. I think it's really about working harder to be smart. There, I like the way that sounds better. We got to work harder to be smart. And let's think about that for a second, right? Like, AI, we're all talking about AI. And it's this big thing, right? And I always put AI in kind of quotation marks, but like I'm constantly thinking about how do I use AI so I can work smarter? And there's a really, really good quote. And somebody had said this. And again, if you're listening, I don't remember who said this, but let AI do the dishes for you so you can focus on the art. And I think that's really, really insightful because, like, think about this for a second. Like, I'm trying to work really hard. I'm talking to different AI companies. I'm thinking about how I can weave that into not only my business, but into my coaching practice with my clients, for example. How do I use AI to do the dishes? How do I use AI to do the heavy lift? If any of you guys have read the book 10X, which I highly, highly recommend by Dr. Benjamin Hardy, 10X is easier than 2X. One thing he talks about is scaling, right? And how do you offset that 80% of work so you can focus on the top 20 and you keep scaling up that way? Well, I think about that with AI. I think about that with, I have to work hard to work smart. So how do I get that function at that level, at that 80% offloaded so I can focus on that 20%? I have to work harder to figure out how to work smarter. I have to dig into those systems. I have to get that refined. I have to get that built out. And that's really, really applicable in all of our businesses, whether you're originating, if you're a branch manager, if you're an executive leader, it doesn't matter our business. That's leadership. And if we can help other people figure out how to work smarter, that's leadership, and that's attractive leadership. Something else, and again, as I'm kind of talking about the AI thing, the other thing to think about too, and I was talking to Eric Post, who is the CEO and owner of Hoozy .ai, which is something I'm really looking into with him. And one thing I really, really liked how he said it, because we're sort of flipping the script. It's like, okay, it's AI plus human. No, it's human plus AI. It's human plus AI. So that way we have to keep our humanity. AI is not here to replace us, although it might be trying. But I think the reality is AI might be able to leverage our humanity if it can take this workload off of us. So as humans, we can focus on our art, and I'll put art in quotation marks. We can focus on our art. That's what leverages our humanity. That's what allows us to then work smarter. And that also puts us generally into our genius zone, is when we are working at that capacity. So what I want to leave you with, and what I want you to think about is this. How are you working harder to work smarter? And then how do you implement that into your systems and your processes? Because that is really where the elite excel, is when they have figured out their systems and their processes. So Let's work hard to work smart, and grit is going to keep us there. So, all right. There's my live cast for right now. Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing lots more of these, and then this will be turned into a podcast soon as well. So, all right, let's go. Thanks for joining. Just talking a little shift.